All right, there we are. How is everybody doing this evening? This wonderful, exciting Friday. I hope everybody's doing really, really well. All right, we'll give it a minute here. So, anyway, before we get started, I just want to remind everybody if we have any problems with the stream, that I will get right back on right away. And so we've been on a nice run here. We had about 4 streams in a row that have gone well. So hopefully we'll keep that up and not have any interruptions. But again, if we do have an interruption, I will get right back on as soon as I possibly can. You may not get a notification for it because YouTube likes to play that game. Okay, so just be aware that that does happen. Again, there's just it's part of what we have to deal with YouTube. So that's what we're doing. Okay, what's a flat of tomatoes cost up north? You know what? To be honest with you, I have no idea. Absolutely no idea. But so anyway, before we get started, I just want to remind everybody that this is a very family-friendly oriented channel. I'm asking you to please be decent in the chat with each other. Be kind, no racism, no nastiness. If you do that, then you will be booted out of here. So by those awesome people you see lit up in blue. So we're just not going to tolerate it. It's unnecessary. Okay. So we're going to get into in a minute. You can't make this stuff up. A bunch of different things want to go over, and we'll go over those in a little bit. It never ceases to amaze me. Okay. But anyway, uh, really, really cold here today at the homestead. We got a couple more days of really cold weather, and then starting Monday it's going to warm up, and then by like Wednesday it's going to be 60, which will be awesome. It'll cool down later in the week, but we'll take a couple of days to 60. I'm not going to complain as long as the snow's melting. I'm happy with that. So, but it's been pretty chilly up here. Right now, it is actually snowing again too. I was just outside with the dog, getting her last run in before the stream, and but yeah, it's New York, right? What are you gonna do? So, and I was just talking to somebody, and they were talking about how they're getting ready to plant their garden, and I'm like, yeah, we're not going to be doing that anytime soon. So, I will get into the greenhouse and plants. Hopefully in a couple weeks is what my hope is, depending on what the weather, and I'll look at what the extended forecast is doing and stuff like that, and I can get started. But you know, at night, like tonight, we're going to be down into the teens. So it's not feasible to even think about getting started in the greenhouse at this point. So, but anyway, what are you going to do? That absolutely happens. So I've been trying something different. I wanted to share this with you guys too. Just I'm always looking. I will never, ever, ever go on a diet. That's never going to happen. I'm never going to be like, oh, I can eat this and I can't eat that. Because when you go on a diet, what happens a lot of times is as soon as you go off the diet, you gain the weight back because you have, you go back to your old eating habits. So what I decided to try to do just for fun, and I've been doing it for about 4 days now, I'm doing intermittent fasting. So what I'm basically doing is I have like a window between 6 and 8 hours where I can eat and I can eat whatever I want. And then the rest of the time, I don't eat anything. And so I can drink whatever I want as far as, if I want to drink juice or whatever, stuff like that, I'm doing that. But is actually doing pretty good. The other day I did like a 19-hour fast, and I actually, when I said, okay, well, I better eat something, I wasn't really even hungry at that point. So just another way to, I want to see how it works. It's just a game. I like to do those little experiments, but we'll see what happens, with that type of thing. It'll be interesting to see what happens, but it's I've actually dropped a little weight already just from doing that. And I know, here's the other thing, and my daughter, I was talking to her today, and she was like, well, Dad, she goes, once the weather gets nice and you're outside, you're busy. You don't think about eating. And that's what happens. I get real busy, get active and doing stuff. My problem for me is I'm a grazer. I have a tendency to graze. And so out of boredom, I eat. So I'll snack on this, I'll snack on that, and if you do that long enough, the calories are just really adding up. So I figure if I limit myself when it's okay to eat, and basically again eat whatever I want to eat in a certain time frame, but not eat the rest of the time, I think it's going to be better for me. So we'll see how it goes, but that's just part of it. All right, so let's do this. Um, do I drink coffee in the morning? What I've been doing, JJ, is I've been having one cup of coffee because Mom and Becky are coffee drinkers, and so I do have one cup of coffee in the morning with them, and but so that's I do that. So, but all right, so this is the first one I want to bring up is you literally cannot make this stuff up. You really, really, truly can't. So one of the squad, the squad of I think it's five of them that are freshmen, congresswomen in the House of Representatives. Obviously, everybody knows who AOC is. They know who the chick from Minnesota is. So everybody knows who those two are. But the other ones don't always get enough credit. But one of them today introduced a bill, or not know if it was today, but it was recent. They introduced a bill to give 16-year-olds the right to vote. So 16 and 17-year-olds the right to vote. Okay. And just the nonsense that was coming out of this woman's mouth was just absolutely unbelievable to me. I mean, you really, truly cannot make this stuff up. So this person was saying that, well, they're very responsible, and 16 and 17-year-olds are, they're going out and they're working and they're supporting their families. They're not just working for fun and all this type of stuff. Now, I think everybody here at one point in time was 16. At least I hope you were. And hope you remember what you were like at 16, especially the gentlemen out here. The stupid, ridiculous stuff that we would do at 16 and 17 and even 18 years old. The stuff that we would do, realistically, to get a laugh out of our friends, to be like, oh yeah, watch this. you know um 16 and 17-year-olds, and even realistically 18-year-olds, are not responsible. They're just really not responsible. Now, of course, at 18, and this is another thing that always kills me, and I want to bring this up because I think there really should be an exemption for this one. Okay, I honestly believe there should be an exemption, but we'll get to this in a second. But anyway, 16, 17-year-olds are absolutely not responsible. Are there some that are? Are there some that are more mature than others? Absolutely. Now, my daughter Heather is a good example of that. Always very, very responsible, mature beyond her years, but she had to be because of her twin brother, Eddie with autism. She really had to be more responsible because she had to watch out for him, especially with me working nights at the time. And, so she really stepped up, always did. But that's the exception rather than the rule. I will tell you that. But here's the exemption that I would like to see put in place. Okay. If you are in the military, and I don't care what branch of the military, I don't care if it's National Guard, I don't care if it's the Coast Guard, the Navy, the Marines, the Air Force, or the Army. Don't matter which branch that you're in, okay? If you are 18 years old and you are in the service, you should legally have the exemption, because if you have your military ID, you should have the exemption to be able to buy cigarettes, to be able to buy alcohol. Because in my opinion, if you are old enough to fight and die for your country, you can have a drink and you can buy a pack of cigarettes. Now, I know that they've just recently raised the age of buying cigarettes to 21, which is, again, probably one of the stupidest things I've ever seen in my life. Unbelievable as far as I'm concerned. Okay, most people that start smoking. Okay, hey, East Tennessee Preparedness. If you live in a red state, contact your state reps and make sure the state is Second Amendment sanctuary state. Think big, act small. Well, there you go. That's a good point. Thank you very much for the donation, and thank you very much for that information as well. It's very much appreciated. But again, let me get back to what I was talking about. With these kids being able to risk their lives, they should be able to absolutely do what they do. The whole smoking thing. Okay, getting back to the smoking. Most kids start smoking early. I started smoking at 12 years old. That's how old I was when I started smoking. They were round. We had access to them, so we smoked. I think the first thing I ever smoked was a cigar. I smoked from 12. By the time I was 16 years old, I was up to 2 packs a day. And at 16, I had a buddy of mine, and I got to tell you the story real quick because you will appreciate this. So at 16, um, there was two factors for me that I quit, and I've never smoked again since then. Okay, one of the I mean, I'll smoke a cigar once in a while if I'm playing poker with the boys, but that's pretty much it. But Ed, when you get deployed, they give you 2 cartons of cigarettes and the St. Christopher medal when you get off the plane. I had not heard that, JJ. I don't know if any of my other veterans on here that have served in combat zone, if you could clarify that, if it's true or not, just let me know. But anyway, not saying that it's not true, JJ, just saying that I never heard of that. So I want to clarify that. So anyway, what happened was I said to my buddy, I could feel what it was doing to me, and this is long before there was labels on there warning you how bad cigarettes were and all this type of stuff. And I said, dude, let's quit. He said, okay. So we quit at the same time. He was smoking 2 weeks later, and I never smoked again. Like I said, an occasional cigar, but that's pretty much it. The other factor with the other way that was making me feel why I quit, the other factor was, and you guys are going to love this, they had raised the price of cigarettes from 75 cents to $1 a pack. And I was like, there's no way I'm paying $1 a pack for cigarettes. It was a psychological thing. And, I just was like, no way, especially with everybody mooching cigarettes off you all the time. I was like, But I'll tell you what, I was very, very cool at 16 because I would take that pack of Marlboros, because of course it was Marlboros. Marlboro Reds is what we smoked because that's what we did. You put it in your sleeve and you rolled that up so that like pack of cigarettes was up in your sleeve. Now, if anybody else remembers doing that, please definitely tell me, because that's what we did, because we were very, very cool. Oh, JJ, okay, it's true. Okay, man, I didn't know. I've never heard of that, so that's why I was asking. Okay. Yeah, actually, we got 1,000 people in the chat, guys. We got 298 on the thumbs up. If you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I would ask you to please do that to show support for the channel, and thank you ahead of time for doing that. But I smoked at 13, but it wasn't cigarettes. Follower of Jay, naughty, naughty. I actually got you beat. The first time I did that, I was 9. And I'll tell you that story in a second, too. But again, if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, please shoot a thumbs up to show support for the channel. Thank you ahead of time for doing that. Also, it really does help with the algorithms. So the more interaction we have, the better it is for the channel. So thank you for doing that as well. And I do appreciate that. The third reason is, of course, I like to see a lot of thumbs up. Not going to lie, being honest. So thank you for that reason as well. Also, if you are not subscribed, I would ask you to please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. So let's talk about the other one, the devil's lettuce. We'll talk about that one really quickly. So I lived out on a farm, and we had I had a couple of neighbor boys that were 12 and 13, and I was 9. So they had a tree fort out in the woods, and so they're smoking, and they're smoking the devil's lettuce. And at the time at 9, I had no idea. So I said, hey, let me have some, because I'm thinking it's a cigarette, right? And they're like, this isn't a cigarette. And I'm like, well, what is it? And they told me, and I said, okay, I'll try it. So, I'll never forget, because I remember it like it was yesterday, believe it or not. It's one of those things that you remember and you don't forget. So I'm like, and they're like, no, 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 no. They're like, take it, suck it in, and hold it. And so that's what I did. So now I will say that I did not smoke again the devil's lettuce until I was 16 after that one. So, but yeah, I had my first experience with that when I was 9 because I was hanging out with these. You live on the street, you're in the middle of the country. There's not a whole lot of options of who you're playing with. Okay, so, and they were probably half mile down the road. So I grew up in a town called Albion out there. I know we have somebody in the chat that is from Albion. They've put that up there before. I lived, if they'll remember the name of the road, Transit Road, and the junkyard, it was Patton's. The Pattons had a junkyard out there. I know that's long gone now. It's, they grew up and moved away, and the parents have passed on, and, those things happen, unfortunately. But Yeah, those are memories you don't forget. You don't forget. I have no idea if I got the munchies, John. I don't remember. I was 9, so but I do remember that experience out of the 4. Because of course then, well, let's paint the whole picture. Of course, it was girly magazines. We're being cool because we were cool. That's what it was all about. You got to remember we're talking, you know, uh, 1970s. So we needed to be cool. Another experience that I will never forget from that time period. I'll tell you something else which was funny. So my mother always used to give me a buzz cut. Always got a buzz cut. So always had that haircut. And I had a guy come up to me. I don't know. We were out someplace, and he goes, "Oh my God, kid, you better put a hat on." And I was like, "Why?" And he was like, "You're gonna get a sunburn on your head with your hair that short." I grew my hair out after that. How funny is that? Did that something? Oh, I had long hair in the '80s. Yep, yep, Frank. I had my hair was parted in the middle, feathered out on the sides, and it was down like to my shoulders. I got pictures when I was playing football of me standing there, scrawny, 142 pounds, with this feathered hair, my braces on. Oh yeah, yeah. I was quite the intimidating individual. Not, no. I was very. I could, but I'll tell you what. I could run like a deer back then, and I had soft hands. So if you threw that ball up in the air, I could catch that ball. If I could get a hand on it, I could always catch it. That was always the way that went. So, but you know what? I did not ever do a ponytail back then because that was not the thing. But I did have the long hair. Now in the '90s, I will tell you this: I did have the mullet going. Absolutely had the mullet going. When I was in nursing school, I used to slick my hair back. So because I sweat really. So you guys see me in the summertime. Anybody that's been watching the channel for a long time knows if I'm outside in the summer and I'm working, I got a bandana on. And the reason that I have a bandana on is because I sweat profusely off my forehead. I always have my whole life. So that's why I wear that bandana. Well, back in the day, I slicked my hair back because of the fact that I sweat so much on my forehead. If I had my hair laying on there, it was getting soaked all the time. So I had the hair slicked back, and then I had the mullet going, yeah, and a full beard. I had the full beard going too. So yeah, I remember when I was doing my OB rotation in nursing school. Here's this 200-pound dude, with the mullet, the full beard, the earrings, holding these people's, little bitty babies. It was funny. It was funny, but good times, really, really good times. But yeah, now I have been shaving my head now. Oh my gosh, let me try to think how long it's been. Well, so here I got to tell you this real quick. So the story behind shaving the head is when I was a little kid and I saw the people that had like the hair on the sides and then nothing through the center. Couldn't stand that look. I thought that always looked ridiculous. My opinion, okay, didn't like that look. Or the guys that had like the part that started right here and they combed it over. Hey, James White, but your beard is too short. Need another foot at least to blow in the wind. Yeah, well, I've had that. You know that I've had it like that. I got too much feedback. People like the shorter beard, so I had to go with it shorter for right now. I'll probably grow it out again. Who knows? We'll see what happens. But thank you very much for the statement, James, and thank you for the donation as well. But anyway, so they would have the part here, and they would have this ridiculous comb over to try to hide the fact that they were going bald. And I always said, if I start to lose my hair, I'm shaving my head. So 6 weeks before I met the kid's mom, it was December. I wasn't seeing anybody, and I said, you know what? I've always wanted to see what it looked like because I was starting to thin out. I said, I always wanted to see what it looked like with a shaved head. So I shaved my head in December, right? Real smart. And I actually still have that picture to this day of me with my head shaved for the first time. I think I had my mustache and I had the shaved head. And so then I started letting it grow back out. Then I met the kid's mom 6 weeks later. And, it was probably the kids were already born. So probably a year after that. So I've probably been shaving my head 19 years now, something like that, at least 19 years. And I'll tell you what, and it's funny because it's like, and I just want to bring this up really quickly because I find it really interesting. I wouldn't grow my hair back if I could. If they gave me some kind of miracle pill where I would have a full head of hair, I wouldn't even grow it back. I like it like this. It is low maintenance, it's easy, and it's just, I find it really comfortable. Now, I'll tell you a funny story really quickly. My grandfather was 77 years old when he passed, full head of hair, full head of hair. But since the 60s, he had done a buzz cut. So here I am in, 1980s. I got the long hair, and here's Grandpa with the buzz cut. And I remember saying, man, if I could if I had a full head of hair at his age, I'd have long hair. There's no way I would do that. And here I am now, and now I'm bald. So very, very funny. It's ironic how you look at things different when you get into different phases of your life. And again, to me, it's like I didn't want to look ridiculous. Now I thinned out, like my hair, like if you can actually kind of see, my hairline kind of goes back to about here. I have in the back, I still have all that hair, but like I said, I shave it down. I love it. Low maintenance. I wake up in the morning and my hair is done. It's awesome. So, and I shave it 3 days a week. So. Salt and pepper prepper. Oh, I like that. That's pretty cool. That's funny. I like that. Yeah. Yeah, I know it's definitely getting more to the salt and not so much the pepper anymore. But anyway, so I know I'm like way, way off of track here, and I do apologize. It has been known to happen. I get on a roll with things, but you know, I've got a solid 5-6 inches on top. Blessed. Hey, you know what? Actually, you know what they say, and this is no slight against anybody with a full head of hair. They say men that are that have receding hairlines, or they have the chrome dome where they have the hair on the side and nothing through here. It's because of higher testosterone levels. So, ladies, that is a good thing. Your older men with bald heads, we're good to go. So, well, thank you, Tanya Jackson. She says I'm very handsome. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you. You know what, guys? I'm just me. I have always been me. I just, what you see is what you get. I don't put on any kind of pretense. I'm just me. That's always just the way it's been. Some people like me and some people don't. So, but that's okay. I'm all right with that too. You're not making everybody happy. So, but I'm just like having a really nice, having a fun conversation with you guys tonight, and it's been fun so far. So I'll tell you guys, I could tell you guys stories. I could do like a week, 2 weeks of streams and just tell you stories that you probably haven't even heard, heard yet. But it's just, I have had a very, very interesting life, and I've had so much fun. I really have. You have to be able to laugh at yourself, number one. You have to be able to have a good sense of humor and joke, and just, you can't take things so serious all the time. If you do, you'd be so pent up. Hey, Seth, do you think the states opening up will be made an example of with higher case numbers in the future? That's a great question. Let's talk about that. So let's actually get back on track here a little bit. Let's talk about that a little bit. So you have Mississippi just recently is dropping restrictions, as well as Texas. There's a list of states that are dropping the restrictions of the mask and everything like that. And you're having a lot of people, the authorities, if you will. Now and it's funny that they're all Republican states. That's something to pay attention to as well. All right. But what you're having happen is, Fauci and the rest of these, and obviously Biden is sitting there calling these people Neanderthal thinking, which is very, very nice, The whole thing, and you guys know where I stand with the whole mask thing anyway. And I think people are done. I think people have had enough. They want to go back to living their lives, especially with something that is not as deadly as they are trying to say it is. I think, they keep talking about these different variants. Well, if you have this vaccine, how do you know what it works against? if it works against the original virus, but now you have what, 2 or 3 different strains, or like one from South America, one from South Africa, one from the UK. So there's at least 3 right there. There could be more. I'm not 100% sure, but the problem is, a lot of what they're doing is strictly, in my opinion, and I'm giving you my opinion, is fear tactics. They're trying to scare you into having this vaccination. And I want to tell you a story today that happened. I had a conversation with a young lady today, and because I'm always talking with everybody, because that's what I do. So let me tell you this story really quickly. So we were talking, and she said that the school where her son goes, that 100 teachers were out, so they closed the school today because they were all getting the COVID test. Now, I will tell you this: Heather weekly gets tested with school. So she's been tested every single week. That's what she has to do all the time. So that's part of the curriculum for college for her. But so anyway, these 100 teachers at this lady's son's school were all getting tested today. Okay, so they closed the school. And she said to me, she goes, "You know what my son's teacher said to him?" And I said, "What?" She said, her son's teacher, and I want you guys to think about this. Her son's teacher said to the kid, "If you don't get the vaccine, you're going to die." You would tell that to a 5-6-year-old child? So, of course, this kid was scared to death. Yeah, you heard the cat? Yeah, I think he wants to go out. I'm not sure. No, there's a dog sitting in front of the door, so I'm not going to worry about it. He's fine. So anyway, she said, I lit up that school. And I was like, I'm glad you did, because that's ridiculous that a teacher, somebody in that position, would do that to a child. That is absolutely ridiculous. That's the kind of problems that we're having. This manipulation, bullying, scare tactics with people. And I think a lot of states have had enough. Yeah, the teacher should be fired. I mean, that is inexcusable. Inexcusable. I don't have any cats on the bed. Oh, I got Lucy's up over here. It's one of his favorite spots. He likes to be up higher. But I don't have any other cats and the dogs are all over here. They're usually right here. I usually have one right here, but they're not here right now. I think she's probably laying at the end of the bed. That's where she likes to lay as well. Well, in all honesty, nobody needs a vaccine, to be honest with you. I mean, I want you, there was a recent study, and I want to bring this up because I think that this is important, really, really important. So we've had this whole fear tactics with everything that has gone on, right? All kinds of propaganda, oh my God, this is the scariest thing. You have to do this, you have to do that. The people that have been affected the most, and I want you to think about this too. Now, this is where the numbers are not realistic and they're not honest. They've done different studies, and they've shown that a lot of people that died from heart disease, that died from cancer, that died from liver failure, or kidney failure, I'm sorry, and all kinds of other ways that people have died have been marked down as a COVID death, okay? It has been proven. It has been proven over and over and over again. So I'm absolutely not making anything up. I don't come on here and make things up. I don't lie. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to tell you the truth, okay? So you've had this huge number of people that were already compromised. We're already having all kinds of other health issues, okay? And then, they get the virus, all right, and their death is marked as the virus, not because of the other complications that they have. When you have your more susceptible population is going to be more easily, to get sick, to die. And it's not always the virus that is killing them. It is going to be the mitigating factors of, well, they already had this, and this going on. And so now, you throw this virus on top of it, it just exacerbates everything, and then they're done. So, there's a lot of misinformation being put out there. Hey, Seth, pandemic fatigue will peak this spring. Yeah, I think that as the weather gets warmer, people are going to want to get out. They're going to want to do things. They want to get back to living life, especially when you have such a small percentage of people that are actually dying from the virus. And that's if they are really truly dying from the virus. Okay, healthy people, especially children, I don't see a reason to get it. I really don't. Um, I want you to think about. Oh, so this is another thing I definitely wanted to talk about tonight. We're going to talk about what Israel's doing, okay, with this whole thing with Israel. And it's insane. It is insane, okay? But before we get into that really quickly, we're at 1261 in the chat. We're at 531 on a thumbs up. If you have not shot a thumbs up yet to show support for the channel, I would ask you to please do that, and thank you ahead of time. I do appreciate that if you would do that. Also, again, it really does help with algorithms, so the more interaction that we have, the better it is for the channel, and I thank you for that reason as well. And of course, the third reason is I like to see a lot of thumbs up, so that's just being honest, and it's like a game, so the more we get, the more fun it is. I'd like to see, I want to try to get it at least to 1,000 in every show. I just think that's like a fun number, and then if we get beyond that, then excuse me, then that's really, really cool. But so if you haven't done it, thank you for doing that. Also, if you're not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to subscribe. Make sure you hit the bell icon to get all notifications as well, and thank you for that as well. So let's get into let's talk. Like, you can't make this up. This stuff is insanity to me. Right now over in Israel, they are basically forcing people to get this vaccine. They are having a green card that they have to prove that they've been vaccinated to be able to travel, to be able to go do things and stuff like that. There's been a lot of pressure put on people over there to get this. And I think that that is absolutely insane. Anybody have any other information on that? If you guys have been watching that, and so would that happen here? Let's talk about that for a second. Yeah, papers, please. Exactly. All of this, guys, I'll tell you what, all of this nonsense reminds me of Nazi Germany. It absolutely does. Complete and total control. You have to have permission to do everything. And if you don't go along with the program, then they're going to jump on you. Let's see. Hold on a second. There's a comment up here I wanted to read. Kimberly said, I have lupus, diabetes, high blood pressure, and for COVID in December, I had IV therapy. Oh, hold on a second. Where did that go? Let's see. And my doctor tested me for the antibodies, and I'm positive. Doctor said I don't need the vaccine. Well, that's good. That's good. If you got the antibodies, and again, that's another thing. But trying to make it mandatory now in Congress. But I'm going to tell you what. Here's the problem that I have, okay? With the propaganda that's being put out there, everybody's rushing. They can't wait. They can't wait to get the vaccine. And you see it on TV, and they're showing all these people, and they're getting different celebrities to get out there and say, yes, look, I've got it. I've done it. You should do it too, and all that type of stuff, right? And that's what's going on out there. But the reality is, and again, I'm basing this on my opinion, based on information from talking with people locally, farther out, around the country, the whole 9 yards. Now, people are not lining up to get this virus. People are not jumping in line, and they're not like chomping at the bit to get it. Okay, they will use fear tactics to scare people into getting it. So a lot of older people that believe everything that is put out there in the news media, they believe it all. They will not deviate for it. It is the gospel. They're rushing out to get it. Okay, and they are. I just saw. Okay, so this is what I just saw, and this actually was on regular TV. I was over at Becky and Mom's, and there was an older couple. I think they'd been, married 60-something years, and they're doing TikTok, right? So they're out there dancing and doing TikTok and singing songs. and they're go and get your COVID shot. Go ahead. It's okay. We've got it. It's like, why the push so hard? Why so much propaganda? Why telling all these people everything's fine? Go ahead, go get it. If it's so safe and it's so wonderful, people are just going to go ahead and they're going to get it. Why do they have to keep doing all this propaganda? So that tells me what I need to know as far as, you know, what we should and should not do. Again, when you have, and I'm going to break it down again. And I had this discussion with this lady today that I spoke with today. I said, when you have something that has not really truly been tested properly, I have concerns, huge concerns. Okay. What are the side effects down the road? And, here's the best part. The side effects might not even come up for 1, 2, maybe 3 years. Okay. Or it could be, sooner. You just don't know. Also, if you get it, they still want you to social distance. They still want you to wear a mask. They still want you, to do all these things. And I'm just like, oh, and you can still also get the virus even if you have the inoculation. So why would you do it? That doesn't make any sense to me. Guys, hold on a second, please. Hold on. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm coming. So sorry. Yes, well, you know what? I'm trying to do a live stream. Okay, Gelker, you come on in, covered with snow. All right, guys, sorry about that. One in and one out. The one coming in covered in snow, and that's Gelko came in and Abel went out. So, I don't know if Israel's. Oh, hold on a second. I want to see what. Ed, I don't know if Israel is really doing that or not. I have a friend living there, and he didn't know what I was talking about. Okay, that's CKOC just said that. Well, thank you. I do appreciate you saying that. Again, I saw some information that said that was that they were suppressing it and not letting people know. So I don't know. Like I said, if I get information, I'm going to share it. Now, if anybody else can either confirm or deny what is going on in Israel, in the chat, if you guys have that information. Seth just said Israelis should know by now not to trust. Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. Thank you very much for the donation, Seth, as well. Yeah, and you're right. They really shouldn't. If somebody says this is okay and you should do it, you probably shouldn't. So, especially if it has something to do with a shower. Like, yeah, no thanks. I'll take one later. But yeah. Anyway, insurance companies will not pay out for an experimental non-vaccine. Well, like I said, this has not been approved 100%. It's got temporary approval, which means it hasn't gone through the strenuous things that everything else has to go through. And I want you to think about this, guys, okay? With all these other things that go through, with all these other vaccines and the different things that have been approved, how many times have we had something that down the road they find out, oh my God, this is actually really, really bad for you. And so now we're going to take it off the market. That's after it's gone through all these years of tests, not 8 months of test, years of tests. And then all of a sudden, they come out with this and people are just, like supposedly jumping in line, can't wait to get their shot and do this. Now, there are people that are absolutely going to do that because they've drinking the Kool-Aid. They believe everything that they are told. I want you to remember something, okay? Do you remember the scientist that worked at the CDC that was going to be releasing some information? And he was an ex-Navy man, okay? And he was found drowned in a creek. I hope you remember that, okay? When you have whistleblowers that are going to come out and share information, a lot of times they have an accident or they commit suicide, or whatever the case may be. There was one scientist that came out and was, whistleblowing and said, if they say that I've committed suicide, know that I haven't. She committed suicide. So, but I'm sure it wasn't her that did it. So, There are people out there that want to suppress what you are doing. They want to control you in every aspect of your life. And again, to me, when you have something that is 99.5%, if you get it, that you're going to survive, unless you are severely compromised. So again, now, if you're a severely compromised person, you probably should be staying away from people in general anyway because of the risk factor. The regular flu killed before this year. Let's just rephrase that. Before this year, the regular flu killed how many thousands of people every single year? Now, not this year because magically the flu's not there this year. Magically, heart disease is stopping because everything is the virus. Okay. So and I find that to be BS. I really, truly do. And it continues, and the manipulation continues, and the propaganda continues. Here's a question that I have for people, and I want you to think about this, right? So, after the whole thing with the run on the Capitol building and that stuff that happened, which, by the way, absolutely was 100% allowed to happen, because realistically, if you think that the security in Congress, in the Senate, in the White House is that lax that they could be overrun that easy, then I got some special stuff that I want you to smoke, because you are living in a freaking fantasy world that was absolutely 100% allowed to happen to make patriots look bad. Okay, now you're hearing, because there was talk that Antifa was involved in that as well, and that they were leading the way. Everybody heard that. Well, now that's being discredited. Oh, no, no, Antifa didn't have nothing to do with it. Hey, Seth, Fauci and Gates are both pure evil. Yeah, you know what? There's definitely an agenda that's lining their pockets, and at the end of the day, it's always about that. It's always about money at the end of the day, and that's what always makes me sick about what these people do. Uh, Absolutely makes me sick that they do that. So here's the thing, too, that I find interesting. So since that happened, they put up this fence all around there for security reasons, for safety reasons. Well, realistically, if those patriots that went down there and were protesting, and again, what they did was wrong, 100% wrong, okay? Hey, James White, remember the Chinese scientist that blew the whistle and died last January? I do remember that. Yep, he ended up getting the virus and he died. Yep. And look how many have disappeared. And if anybody says anything negative about China, you don't hear from them again. They disappear and they're gone. And that happens a lot more. And I'm going to tell you what, where else does that happen as well? Right here in the United States. If you speak out, if you are going to voice an opinion different than what the narrative is, you are taken care of. Believe that. Okay. I'm going to tell you right now, I believe that there is a cure for cancer. I absolutely, in my heart, 100% believe there's a cure for cancer. I am a cancer survivor, okay? So I'm not like, just some Joe Blow saying whatever. There is more money in the treatment than there is in the cure. If you cure somebody from something, you don't have to continue to treat them for months and months and months and months and give them radiation and give them chemo, and destroy them physically and beat them down. Okay. So there's more money in the treatment. And then a lot of these people have to be on, medication for the rest of their lives after that. So they're never going to come out and say, yeah, we have the cure, because they would lose so much money. Billions are made on cancer treatment. You think of all the money through all the years that have gone into research for cancer. And I want you to think about this. All the money through all the years that have gone into research, and they haven't figured anything out. I don't believe it. I really, truly don't. Okay. Absolutely not. So that's just, I'm just putting that out there because I believe that's part of the manipulation. So let's do this. It's already we're already 45 minutes into the chat. I can't believe it. Time goes by so fast. So what we're going to do real quick, we're at 1467 in the chat. We're at 712 on the thumbs up. So I'm going to ask again for another thumbs up. Let's get a good push here and get that number up really high. If you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I'm going to ask you to do that, please, to show support for the channel. And thank you very much for doing that. I do appreciate it. Again, it really does help with the algorithms. So the more interaction that we have, the better it is for the channel. So I thank you for that reason as well. And of course, then the third reason, I like to see a good number of thumbs up. It's like a game for me, like I said. So I definitely like to see a lot of thumbs up, and it just really does help. Hey, Seth, the U.S. Hold on a second. In the U.S., the hit teams are called Viper squads. I had not heard that, but thank you for sharing that information. And let's see. Oh. Hey, Hidden Pines Homestead, 5 years from now, they'll be running TV ads saying if you took the COVID-19 vaccine and you can be compensated. Yep, from long-term side effects. I agree with you 100%. I agree with you 100%. Hey, Matthew, did everyone already die? Right? Oh my, it's amazing. Thank you very much, Matthew, for the donation as well. Yeah, it's nuts. It is absolutely nuts what's going on. So anyway, egg count. What are your guys' guesses for the egg count tonight? Let's do that. So again, I didn't finish up. If you are not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. And thank you ahead of time for doing that. I do appreciate that. So let you guys give a minute to get your guesses. Heroic Waffles, new subscriber here, great channel. I survived Hurricane Sandy. I was on the Jersey Shore and became a prepper ever since. Love your channel. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. And I'm glad that that was your wake-up call defining moment. That is awesome to hear that you are prepping. That is great. I'm glad to hear that. Anybody that has had that experience, something that definitely changes, alters with the way you think, that is a very, very good thing. All right, so... All right, if you have the same exact guess, is Zachary Berry. Zachary Berry with 7 eggs, and a lot of you had 7 eggs today. I see there was so I had to pick somebody. 7 eggs is what we ended up with today. We had 6 yesterday. I think we had 8 the day before that. So they've been, even and it's been cold. It's not like it got really super warm and it's warmed up and it's great. It has been cold. I have 2 of my hens on the other side recovering, and so obviously they're not laying. So I'm actually pretty pleased with the amount of eggs that we're getting at this point. So it's been really good. Oh, I did want to give an update on the chicks. I did lose 1 chick. Basically walked in there and the thing was on its side, dead. So I don't know if it was, their sickness or whatever the case may be. But yeah, we did lose one of the chicks. One of the dark ones. One of the dark ones is gone. So we still, I know my ICU ward. They're separated so that they're safe. But yeah, so I still have 15 of the chicks are doing good. But yeah, one of them did bite it. And so Mom says to me, "Well, what did you do with it?" I said, "I put it in the garbage." It's this freaking big. So what do you? Oh, I took it outside and I buried it, No. So, oh my goodness. Israel has officially entered a Nazi state. They're cut off from the outside media. So Elliot quickly just said that. Okay. Anybody else with information on Israel? What's going on? Because like I said, I'm hearing information that they're basically forcing their population to get this vaccine. And I want to see what people think. Do you think there will be another lockdown? You know what, Tracy? Great question. I have a hard time thinking that there's going to be another lockdown because I think people will absolutely lose their mind. They're already at the point where they're like, enough is enough. Unless, here would be the only thing that I think there could be a possibility of something like that being enacted. If they release something else with a much higher deadly rate of infection, okay, and they'll call it a variant or something that has come off of the original virus or something. They would definitely do that. But if that's the case and you had a much higher death rate, then I could see them doing that. Other than that, they're losing control is what it is. People have had enough. The scare tactics are not working anymore. More and more people are going. I saw a meme today, and I thought it was so funny. Okay, and I got to share this with you. So the woman comes up, and it was satire, and the woman comes up, and the other one was, "Ma'am, you need to have a mask on," She pulls out a card and says, well, I have a medical exemption. Hey, Seth, it's going to be 50 degrees next week, barefoot soon. Yeah, I know. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. But what do you think about the gun bills? We'll get into that too. We'll get into that too. But you called the coop virus, right? Exactly. Oh, I lost my train of thought now. Hold on a second. Where was I just at, guys? I'm lost. I mean, I am completely blank where I was at. What was I just talking about? Oh, the meme. Thank you very much. Okay. Old age is terrible. I will tell you that right now. It's like, ooh, shiny. What's this over here? What was I talking about? Okay. So the woman says, oh, I have a medical exemption. She pulls a card out of her back pocket. And the woman says, medical exemption? She goes, well, I generally don't. She goes, I don't have to tell you. She says, but I will tell you. I have a really bad case of CS. And she goes, CS? She goes, I've never heard of that. She goes, it's called common sense. Have a nice day, and walked away. And I just thought that was like hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. Again, I'm going to tell you what I tell people. You can make your own decision or you cannot. It's completely up to you, okay? The advice that I give people is not to get the vaccine. It has not been tested enough. There's not enough information. And I don't care how much propaganda that they put up there, okay? Then, so actually you can use that, guys. You can tell them you have a medical exemption because you have CS, which is too much common sense to wear a mask. So, but there's not enough information on it. It is, I don't trust the CDC. I don't trust big pharma. And there's a lot of reasons for that. We've been over all those before. They have a tendency to lie to us. I want you to remember something, guys. And I want you to think about this because it really wasn't that long ago that this happened. Early 1900s, they were trying to figure out what was going on with syphilis. So there was a whole bunch of gentlemen that they gave syphilis to on purpose. They gave it to them on purpose, and then they monitored them. All right? That's what big pharma does. That's what the government does. If they decide you're an expendable commodity, because we're an expendable commodity, okay, they're going to do whatever they want to do. And so don't think that they have your best interest at heart, ever, ever. So to me, again, we need to build up our own natural antibodies to fight whatever the case may be. Like the woman had said that she had it, and she had the antibodies in her system now because she had it. So her doctor told her the Tuskegee, yes, the Tuskegee experiment, absolutely. Yep, and they let those poor men die from syphilis, and they studied them. And they were telling them they were giving them a vaccine to help them. So just remember that too. So if a nurse tells me not to get it, then by God, I'm not going to get it. Well, like I said, I'm telling you what I'm telling people. I tell my family this, my mom, my sister, my daughter, anybody that, my son, anybody. I said, don't get it. Now, my stepson, I talk with him, and and this is the weird mindset of a lot of younger people, and I want you to think about this. So he says, oh, well, when it comes out, I'm going to get it. And I go, why would you get it? He says, I just want things to go back to normal. So they believe that if they go ahead and get it, that things are going to go back to normal. But you're being told at the same time that it's not going to go back to normal. It blows my mind. And he's an intelligent young man, very, very intelligent young man. Hey, Seth, I don't wear a mask anywhere anymore. Nobody cares. Yeah. And I'm going to tell you what, I have not either. And if somebody says to me, you have to have a mask on, I tell them I don't wear a mask. It's exactly what I tell them. If I'm in a business or a store and they said, well, you have to wear a mask or you have to leave, then I'm going to leave. That's how that's going to go. So that's it. If you don't want my business, I will go spend my money elsewhere. That's the way I look at it. Big Pharma gave me diabetes, and that's a fact. Matt, aka DDP Mimi. Okay, man, sorry to hear that. But again, you know what? There's a lot going on At Pfizer hold on. Pfizer CEO said every year you will have to get your annual shot for COVID-19. Yeah, and exactly, and it's just another way for them to manipulate things to make more money. That's all that comes down to. That's all it comes down to. Hey, Timothy, if things were back to normal, our Cowboys would be back in the Super Bowl every year. Yes, absolutely. They better get Dak Prescott signed and for a nice long-term contract. I'm like so sick of all this nonsense with that. Sign the guy, give him his money. He obviously proved when he went down, they cannot win without him. He's a great quarterback. So I don't know if people like football or not, but I think he's got a great receiving core. They got a great core of receivers. They could really do a lot of stuff. So, but I'm diehard. I've been diehard since I was 9 years old with the Cowboys, guys. So that's not going to change. Not going to change. So I was watching. Actually, Becky and Mom had on. They were doing the whole. It was like in one day, and they were like binge watching the whole thing. It was Dallas Cowboy cheerleader tryouts, and what the rigors that these women go through to become a Dallas Cowboy cheerleader. And the one girl had made it to whatever the next step was, and she goes, "Man, my mom's going to be so mad." And the lady goes, "Why?" She goes, "My mom's a diehard Steelers fan, and here's her daughter's going to be a Dallas Cowboy cheerleader." So, hey, you know what though? It's that's a tough job that they do. The state of Maryland is driving trucks with loudspeakers through the streets and black communities blasting to get the vax now. You know what? They are really, really pushing for the black community to comply. Because a lot of the black community is very, very hesitant, which they should be. Not just the black community, every community should be very, very hesitant to get this. But yeah, there is a lot of propaganda being put out there now, and they're trying to, like I said, they're trying to scare people. They're trying to bully people. Businesses are saying, well, if you want to keep your job, you have to get this, and I think that that's insanity. Hey, Jeanette, thank you very much for the donation. I really, really appreciate it. She says, you are amazing. You know what? I can't disagree. I'm only kidding. Thank you very much. I do appreciate that. It's very, very kind of you, but yeah. Well, I have to be honest. No, I'm just teasing. I'm just me, guys. That's all I am. But thank you very much for that. I do appreciate that. It's very nice of you. Too many people are brainwashed by the media. You are absolutely right about that. Julie Cleary just said that. Do you think most medical officials will demand that all staff get the vaccine? They're really, really pushing this thing. And so, it's hard to say. It really, really is hard to say. I know a lot of places are really trying to push it to make their people get it. But I think if enough people in those companies and enough people, like even in nursing, stand together and say, absolutely not, I'm not getting it, they'll have to back down. I think they'll have to back down because they won't have people to take care of people. If you have 50% of your nursing, well, it's actually 60%. If you have 60% of your nursing staff that takes care of people in a hospital. So when I say staff, I'm not just talking nurses, not just talking CNAs. I'm talking about your janitorial staff. I'm talking about your laundry people. I'm talking about your kitchen folks, your secretaries, your front door people, your security. There's a lot of people that are involved in a hospital that you don't even think about that are really vital clogs to that. And if you have 60% of them saying, I don't want this, there's no way they're running these hospitals at 40% staffing. So if people stick together and they band together and say, no, we're not going to get it, those administrative people will have to back down. So that comes down to people standing up for themselves and not taking the garbage. That's what it's going to come down to. So if you are in a position where they're trying to cities in upstate New York limit vaccine sites to residents only. Yeah, I know that there's not as much out there yet as they want to have out there. I think they're saying that like by May, I think Biden said by May that there'll be enough for everybody to get vaccinated. But again, You know, you have a choice. At the end of the day, no matter what they try to push on you, you have a choice. And you have to decide, what are you going to tolerate and what are you not going to tolerate. That's what that, and that's what it always comes down to. So, you know, I'm not doing it. I've said it very, very clearly from the very beginning of this. I don't trust big pharma. I don't trust the government, absolutely not, and I don't trust the CDC, and especially the World Health Organization. They're all a bunch of liars. They've proven it over and over and over again. So no, for me, it's a big fat no, and for many, many reasons. And I think we're being manipulated. Is exactly what I think is going on. When Biden is all pissed off now that these different, governors in the different states are lifting the restrictions and saying, let's open everything back up. I'm going to tell you what, the restaurant people are probably ecstatic. They're absolutely probably ecstatic to be able to open back up. They want to open back up. They want to get back to business. They want people to be able to get out, live their lives. I'm going to tell you what, I have not been to a movie theater, and I think they just recently opened up movie theaters here, and I don't even know what the restrictions are because I haven't been yet. But I have not been to a movie theater in over a year. Over a year. Well, first of all, they were closed completely up here for a long, long time. But I like going to the movies. To me, that's an entertaining evening. I enjoy doing that. Me, Eddie, and Heather would do that a lot. So, but it just, yeah. Well, that's so. Last year, and I will be honest, last year I put more miles on my Harley last year than I did the 2 previous years combined. Because there was nothing else to do. And well, first of all, I love to ride anyway. So I got an itch. I'm sorry. And I love to ride anyway. So why not? Did you hear about the National Guard unit that got sick in DC from contaminated food provided by them with raw meat and metal shavings? I did hear that. And that's disgusting. That they're there not because they want to be, because they have to be. And then they got to deal with that, which is just terrible. I did hear about that. That's awesome. It's not awesome. It's horrible that they would do that. So thank you very much for the donation and the statement as well. So real quick again, guys, we're almost an hour into the show. We got 20 minutes to go. If you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I would ask you to shoot that thumbs up. We're at 872 and we got 1,400 people in the chat. So please shoot a thumbs up to show support for the channel. And thank you for doing that ahead of time. I really do appreciate it. Also, it really does help with the algorithm. So the more interaction that we have, thumbs up, thumbs down, comments, it really pushes us up higher in the rankings. So I appreciate it for that reason as well. So thank you for doing that as well for that reason. Also, again, I do like a lot of thumbs up. It's just a fun game for me as well. So that's part of it as well. So thank you for that reason as well. Also, if you're not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Make sure you hit the bell icon to get all notifications as well. And thank you ahead of time for doing that as well. We got Glenn Zimmerman, Survival Today. So I'm supposed to believe the government has sprayed me with Agent Orange, saying that the vaccine is okay to take now. Exactly, Glenn. Exactly. And there's another thing, and that was supposed to be safe. And look at how many servicemen died from Agent Orange, not from being in the war, but from all the crap that they were spraying on everybody. And they told you that it was fine. That's a great point, and thank you for bringing that up. That's awesome. So I want to talk about a couple of the channels really, really quickly. A friend of mine up in Canada, Icky Can, okay? ICKYCAN. That's his channel name. He has started posting again. He's got a great channel up there. Please go over to his channel, show him some support, and let's get his numbers up higher. He's a really, really nice guy, very, very down to earth, and he's good people. Also, Bizariza Jizza, as you guys know, he's got the series going on right now with the EMP series, putting out good information, gives you something to think about, and it's a great story. So get over to his channel as well and show him some support. I did talk about recently that Magic Prepper and I are going to be working together as well with the whole setting up a Prepper Underground Railroad. So there's another channel to definitely go over, show some support to, and we're working on that. We're trying to get things squared away with that as well. Karen wisely said, Agent Orange killed my husband. I'm sorry to hear that, Karen. But again, you know, another good channel. Definitely show him some support as well. Tell him the Prepper Nurse 1 sent you over. Good people. Obviously, you guys know out in Seattle, my boys out there, Adam, okay, Marfugal News. I like him as well. Definitely show him some support as well. And, you know, again, tell him Prepper Nurse 1 sent you over. Yep, JJ's got the link for Icky Can's channel. He just put that up. So let's get over there. Let's get his numbers up for Icky Can. He's got a really nice channel over there. Go watch his older videos of what he did with his buildings. You will be amazed. Amazed. And he did it all by himself, which is also amazing to me. And he lives way out in the bush. I mean, he's way out in the bush. So really good guy. So, but there's a lot of good channels out there that we should be supporting each other in trying to help each other. And you know, absolutely, you know, and I could go on and on and on with a bunch of other channels. I just wanted to mention a couple channels, but I did want to mention too, like I said, Magic, Prepper, and myself are absolutely going to be working together. I know he is out in North Dakota, and so we're going to be working to try to get this set up for this Underground Railroad. Okay. I am answering emails. It is going to take me forever, just so you know, because I have other things that I'm doing as well. So I will get to you. If you have emailed me and I have not responded to you yet, please be patient. I will get to you. I promise you I will. Okay. It's going to take some time, and you know, that's just the way it's going to be. But again, if you want to be part of the Prepper Underground Railroad, okay, shoot me an email, preppernurse1@yahoo.com. The link my email is down in the description. You'll see it down there. So shoot me an email. Tell me that you're interested. You want to be part of it. And give me your number. Make sure you give me your phone number. I will call you. If you are overseas in Europe, Australia, and you want to be part of it, I can't call you, but we can correspond by email. So definitely do that. I still need your number. And so, because if I'm going to connect you with people in your area, you guys got to be able to talk with each other. So definitely, you know, let's do that as well. Okay. So, but yeah, you know what, guys, we're a huge family, and I'm going to tell you what, and with getting this thing going with the Prepper Underground Railroad, yeah, and Big Brother's watching, of course, Big Brother's watching, but I'm going to tell you what, we have a ton of power, and I think people don't realize that. Hey, Seth, when the governor, MSN, and Pharma get the jab, I say no. Yeah, right? Yeah, I understand that, man. I do. I appreciate the statement. Thank you for the donation as well. Again, there's a lot of people prepping out there to feel very alone. They feel very alone, but you're not alone. There's a lot of us out here, and there's a lot of good people out here, okay? And so my thing is, if we can connect ourselves and make some kind of a network, and you know, it's not something that's going to be put out on the web. There's not going to be some website where you go to and you do it this way. It's not how it's going to be done. It's going to be word of mouth. It's going to be, you know, connecting with like me. I'm going to reach out. I'm going to try to put you guys together. And, you know, I think that that's important because, again, none of us are alone. If you're prepping and you're by yourself and you don't have anybody near you, you know, this is a great way to connect. And I want people to realize this is not anything to do with trying to overthrow the government. This is no way trying to raise an army to attack the government. This is nothing like that at all. What this is about, for me, when the time comes and something happens, which it will, okay, I really truly believe that it will, that we need to be able to connect, work together, support each other, make sure that we survive. We're the ones that are going to be ready. If you are by yourself and you're ready, other people know that you're ready, makes you a target. They're going to come, local people are going to come and they're going to take your stuff. We don't want to have that happen. I don't want to see that happen to you guys, okay? So if we can get to that point where we have this network and you know that 50 miles this way is Charlie and Charlie's got to have my back, and over this way is Bill's 25 miles this way, I can go there or I can go there. And that's where you guys are going to be connecting and communicating with each other, making those plans to work together, to support each other. And that's what it's about. And I'm going to tell you what, there's a lot of power in that. And the more people that we can have survive, there's safety in numbers. You're going to have a group. I don't care how many times somebody comes on here and says, nope, I'm doing it all by myself. I'm a lone prepper. I don't need nobody. I don't need any help. You're not going to make it. Guaranteed, 100%, you will not make it. If you think you can do it all by yourself in a post-event, you're not going to make it. You need to have people that you can trust. You need to have people that are going to have your back. You need to be able to get proper sleep. You're going to need help doing projects, the whole 9 yards. And while you're cutting wood, who's watching your back? Okay, if you're doing it by yourself, you're busy, you're doing something, you're not able to watch everything that's going on around you. It puts you in danger. Why would you do that? If you can have that community, that's what we need to do. Have you ever thought about writing a book? You know, I've actually been approached about that a couple times, and I've thought about it. I think it would be interesting. I think it would be very interesting. But there's a lot of us out here, guys, and a lot of us that feel very alone, and we don't have to be. I've had a huge reply to this project, and it's going to take me a lot of work to do it. I'm going to tell you right now, and I'm okay with that. And so, you know, that's what I'm going to continue to do. I want to help people because that's what I'm all about. Okay. And so again, so somebody has, what's in it for me? What's in it for me is that you survive, that you live, that you continue to carry on, and you know, and that's one less victim. That's what's in it for me, and that's what I want. That's all. That's the only thing I want. Hey Matthew, where can I get portable light heaters? Well, portable lights, actually portable lights, you can get solar lights that you can put like at Lowe's or Home Depot. They have the solar lights that absolutely would be a good thing that you could put outside during the day, and even on a cloudy day they will charge, and you can use that for a light inside. That would be a great way to do it. They have let me show you another thing. All right, this, Matthew, I will guarantee you this is a great thing to have. It's all dusty. It's called a D-Light, okay? Get these, look them up online. It's D.Light, L-I-G-H-T. I know my neighbors, I ain't going anywhere, Seth. That's good. As long as you know that you can work together, that's awesome. This is a solar light. This is a solar panel. So, sunny day, cloudy day, you put that outside, okay? And then when you are ready to use it, the other side is the light. Now, I have not had this out in the sun. It hasn't been anywhere. I don't even know if it's going to work. Let's see. Look at that. I haven't had this outside all winter. All winter long, this has not been outside. These lights are fantastic. So, Matthew, if you're looking for a light, definitely go with something like this. A solar light is the best way to go, in my opinion, because even on a cloudy day, they're still going to work, and it's a great light source, okay? And you don't have to worry about, you know, anything burning down because it's not a candle or anything like that. So I hope that helps. And so I just wanted to share that with you. But thank you very much for the donation as well. And thank you for the question. But again, D.Light, L-I-G-H-T. Go to Amazon, anything like that. You can find them. Definitely. And I have no affiliation with them, but I absolutely love the product. Absolutely love the product. Okay. All right, well, let's do this really quickly. Again, real quick, I want to ask for another thumbs up. If you have not shot a thumbs up yet, let's see if we can get to 1,100 before the stream is over. We got 1248 still in the chat, and we're at 1,000 thumbs up. Please shoot a thumbs up to show support for the channel, and thank you for doing that. Also, it really does help with the algorithm, so the more interaction we have, the better it is for the channel. So I appreciate it for that reason as well. And last but not least, I like to see a lot of thumbs up, so that would be the other reason I would ask you to do it. Also, again, if you are not subscribed to the channel, please make sure you subscribe. Hit the bell icon to get all notifications as well. All right, so we are Legion because we are many, and not the bad biblical kind, the good Legion, okay? We're a huge family. We're a huge network of people. We are all over the world, all over this country. We really are a family. And people need to realize that we really, really are a family. Okay. So where is everybody from tonight? We have Ontario, Canada. We have London. Oh, the big box store sell the light. Todd Hendrick just said that. Okay. Let's see. We have Wisconsin, Northern California, New Mexico, Middletown, Pennsylvania, Oshawa, Ontario, Canada. Hold on. I got a freaking frog in the throat. All right. We got Colorado, North Texas, New Jersey, Troy, Vermont, Texas, Amarillo, Texas, Raleigh, North Carolina, East Central Illinois, Jackson, Georgia, Mississauga, Ontario, Canada, Idaho, Beech Grove, Indiana. Let's see, Key West, very cool. New Hampshire, Maine, Spokane, Washington, Aurora, Colorado, New Zealand, Cincinnati, Jackson, Georgia, Colorado, Tennessee, Spokane, Washington, Norfolk, Virginia, Alabama, South Central Ontario, Nowhere, Oklahoma, Cape Cod, Southwest Florida, the Adirondacks, Indiana, Sizemore, Missouri, Rocky Mountains in Utah, very cool. Minnesota, very nice. Cold Kitty, New York, I like that. New Australia, Virginia, Arizona, Melbourne, Australia. Let's see, Ulster Park, New York, Central Ohio, Pennsylvania, Mississippi, Park Hills, Missouri, Endicott, New York. My cousin lives there. One of my cousins lives there. Hooker, Pennsylvania, Central Ohio, or Iowa, sorry. Pueblo, Colorado, Georgia, Maryland, Oregon, Missouri, the Ozarks, Cape Cod again, private island in Florida. That's very nice. Melbourne, Australia once more, Central Florida, Australia, Arizona, Minnesota, Oklahoma, Texas, Buffalo, New York. I got it, Glenn. Oregon. I said that. Sullivan County, Indiana. Let's see. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Hollywood, California. New South Wales, Australia. Very cool. Toronto, Georgia. Commerce City, Colorado. Chicago, Vancouver, USA. Ontario, Canada. So again, guys, we are all over the country. We're all over the world. We're a huge network of people. We really, truly are a big family, and we really, truly can make a difference. And what we're trying to do is I'm trying to get more organized, and that's where we can make a huge difference. Now, will there be bad actors? Of course there will. There's always going to be people that have ulterior motives that want to do something negative with this. But again, what I want people to do, and I just want to break this down really quickly so that you understand. You're going to send me your information. What I'm going to do is I'm going to look for people within a 100-mile radius of where you live. What we're going to do is they're going to get your first name and your phone number. You're going to get their first name and their phone number. All right. You're going to call each other. Hey, Seth, kind of a plug, but my parents roast coffee from their house and do mail order. Contact me if you want details. It's a true mom and pop gig from Vermont. Okay, well, very cool. So, guys, if you're looking to get coffee, Seth, his parents make coffee. So definitely look into that if you want to contact him. There he is. So thank you for sharing that information, and thank you for the donation. But again, so what I'm encouraging people to do, so you're going to call this other person. You're going to talk on the phone. If you decide after talking on the phone that you want to meet, I'm encouraging people to meet in a safe location, be it a restaurant, a cafe, or whatever. Have coffee, have a meal, discuss things. If you decide at that point that you want to go further and work together, that is going to be up to you. You are going to be doing the vetting. Nobody's doing the vetting for you. You're going to do it on your own. You're going to go by your gut feeling. Do I trust this person? Do I not trust this person? Do I like what they have to say or not what they, that's how you're going to do it. Okay. So again, it's going to be completely up to you. All right. But I'm going to try to facilitate things from my end. Again, Magic Prepper and I are definitely planning on working together. And I did speak with Grim Survival as well. All right. He's got something that he's doing as well. So again, I have no problem working with a lot of people, trying to get things organized and squared away for the betterment of our whole community. All right, so that's what we're going to try to do. I want to make sure I thank my moderators who do an absolutely fantastic job keeping the chat clean. And I appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome, ladies and gentlemen, that do that for me. They are here for every stream, keeping the chat clean, and they do a great job. So thank you guys for that. I do appreciate that. Also, I appreciate all of you being here, being part of this. It really does make a difference to me. I enjoy it. I love chatting with all of you and, sharing ideas and sharing information. That's what it's all about. We need to work together. I can't say that enough, and I will say it and say it again, and I'll say it over and over. So, but that's really important. It really, really is. Okay. So again, we're at 1080. We need 20 more to get to 1100. We got to get to 1100 on the thumbs up, guys. So again, if you haven't shot that thumbs up yet, let's do that to get that up there. And just for fun, let's hit 1100 today. I think we hit 1,000 last time, which was cool. And that was on Wednesday. So let's see if we can hit 1100 tonight. Remember, we are all in this together. We are a big family. We are one race called the human race. As soon as we can get past all the other nonsense and the manipulation by the media and the government and everything else, we hit that 1100. That's cool. We're going to be in much better shape. What we could accomplish together as human beings would be unbelievable if we can get to that point. And I think we can. I really do. And so this is a first step of it, is networking, working together is the first step of that, okay? Excuse me. Also remember to hug and kiss the ones you love. Tell them every single day. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen in life. So it's really important that you tell the people that you care about every single day how you feel. That is so important. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. A fine example of that, and a lot of you know, the needy homesteader. Very, very sad situation over there, okay? And I talked about that in a previous stream, and a lot of people have donated to them, which is fantastic. They're going to have a lot of expenses. She's going to take a long time to recover, and so a lot of people have been very, very generous, which is awesome. Last but not least, STD, step, thing, and day. It's one step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. Whatever you're trying to do, whatever you're trying to accomplish, you can do it. The only person that is going to stop you from reaching those goals is you. Nobody else can stop you. Stay positive. Stay away from negativity. Stay away from negative people that want to bring you down. Don't feed into that, okay? Set your goals. Make them happen. Realistic goals. That's the biggest key. Start out with small stuff. Make it happen, and then you put that out of the way, and then you go on to the next one. All right? I will see you guys all tomorrow. I hope everybody has a fantastic night. I hope you have a safe weekend. And I will see you all later. All right? Have a great night. Prepper Nurse 1, out for now.